Hey everybody, Madeline here to look at this week's astrology. I'm going to go ahead and pop the chart. Um, there's an interesting energy going on from a lot of people that I'm talking to where people are sort of feeling like something hasn't worked out as they expected, or there's a general sort of feeling like somebody moved somewhere and they were just on the phone to me saying, this isn't what I had expected when I moved here. And then somebody else was saying a relationship they had with a working um, assignment that they were given isn't what they had expected. And this is all the Pluto squaring Mercury that's happening today because Pluto is in retrograde. So there's this sort of evaluation of a choice, Mercury, a choice that you thought you would desire in the sign of Taurus, that you thought was going to be a long-term solution. So there's a tendency right now for people to sort of not almost maybe regretting some choices. Pluto squaring Mercury. Now, um, Mercury is sextiling Jupiter, so this is good because there's reflection going on that's going to help us understand what we do want to see going forward or to make a new meaningful choice around this, to change a choice or to reevaluate a choice. In other words, it may not be what you expect, but maybe it's okay and it's pretty good in other ways. So you want to sit down and evaluate the pros and the cons and seeing if it's also good in many ways that you didn't expect. So that's kind of what's going on. There's some big choice reevaluations with that Pluto and probably choices that were made a while back. I would say maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I could go back to the lunations. This is all happening on a full moon Scorpio, which is very revelatory with a Pluto in retrograde. So a lot of people are feeling regretful of choices they made or disappointed in the results of choices that they have made in the past. Now, as the week, that's gonna go away because Mercury's moving out of that square um, pretty much on the 14th. So that's a general feeling until it's gonna relax and up until May 15th. And May 15th is going to be better. We're going to feel a lot better from this full moon. And we've got Venus out of shadow. It's at the ecliptical point. So there may be some sort of major shifts at that point. It is trining Mars, which is a really nice, positive actions being taken, aligning feminine and masculine energies or relationships or contracts. But then it's happening at the same time that we've got that Mercury is building a square to Mars, but it's not happening quite. I guess it is kind of happening that day. So we do also have a Mercury square Mars. So we're kind of out of the Mercury square Pluto, and now we're going to have Mercury square Mars, which can be conflict, competition, changing of plans, changing of minds, ending things, communication that's disruption that makes you have to change your plans. But there is passion involved and it is trining that Venus. So this is ultimately this this reflection that's going on at the beginning of the week is going to inspire a choice that's being made by the Mars trining Venus. So in other words, we're going to see clarity to take action that we to change or to harmonize with, to see that what is actually what we want, truly. Because our souls may have put us here for a good reason that we will see during this transit, wherever we are right now. So, in other words, nothing is as it seems. We're going to have some breakthroughs. This full moon is revealing that some expectations that we had around like having children or getting married or moving somewhere isn't what we thought. And but we are either gaining clarity on a change and a new choice we want to make with that Mercury sextiling Jupiter. And then with Mars trining Venus, we're taking action to move our destiny where we truly desire or into a relationship we truly desire or some sort of, and Venus is out of detriment or out of shadow. So we're seeing some sort of movement going forward. basically because some doors are shutting and there's other open doors, the doors that things do kind of work out for, which is wherever that Venus is in our chart. It's getting that really nice blessing from Mars, and there isn't any square aspects to Venus. The Sun and Mercury are in the sign of Venus. So, and then the end of this week, we're going to have the Sun joining Uranus at 27 degrees of Taurus. Look at that kite pointing to that 29th degree. We're really wrapping something up. And then we've got Saturn at that 29th degree point, which is really a stormy kind of wrap up, kind of untangling a knot. Um, shall we say, gosh, how do we, they call it like things happening. It's that last degree point where there's a rush, where there's a feeling that we have to resolve something. And there's a kite there. So we're being helped by the universe to resolve something, to untangle a knot, to set ourselves free from something from the past so we can go forward as Saturn is going to move into Aries for the first time here, May 25th, which is not quite this week. So I want to create a cohesive message here, but basically, we've got this mystic rectangle happening today. So people are going to be very receptive, following and intuitive, because we're in that reflective mode of things not being what we hoped for and going into some sort of deeper connection and being guided by something higher and connecting with that, because these are all in receptive signs, and then letting go of perhaps that choice we made and making a change, or letting go of that expectation of that choice and realizing that you are where you are for a bigger reason that you don't fully understand yet. And that is, you may feel that in that down, if you get that rectangle, you may get clarity on that. So I hope that was helpful and not too confusing. That Uranus Sun transit, I'm going to talk about that again this week, but that's a powerful transit where some sort of big surprising shift occurs in our lives. So I haven't really zeroed in on that yet, but I will tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Namaste.